Hello everyone, welcome back to House of Chi Yoga. Today we're going to be doing an outside class, so apologies ahead of time for any extra noise or pets that you see in the film or hear in the film. But let's get started at the top of our mat. And let's just take a moment to find our feet. Go heel to toe, open up the palms, wiggle the fingers, take some rolls back through the shoulders. Maybe lift and lower the gaze a few times. And then we'll come to stillness on our mat. I already have a pet joining me. Stillness on the mat. If you're comfortable closing your eyes, go ahead and close them. Otherwise, bring the gaze down. And notice where the breath is going in the body. As we stand, we find length in the body. Continue to inhale deeply, filling up the space all the way through the belly. And start extending the breath farther than just the belly. Maybe through the pelvic floor, up into the chest. Maybe all the way down the legs, up through the shoulders. Finally, see if you can reach all the way through the feet to the toes and then up to the crown of the head. A few more deep breaths, continuing to fill up all the space we have here. As you inhale, feel the press against the skin. You're inhaling so much, you're expanding with the body. One more. Let's bring our arms up and overhead this time. And then exhale, bring the thumbs to third eye. Slowly bend the knees, come to a hover. Then let the hands hang heavy. You can flutter the eyes open. Take the hands fully to the mat and walk it back into a quadruped position. Hands and knees. Take a moment to open up the fingertips wide. Just spread the toes away from each other. And then any kind of movement here in quadruped you'd like. Moving from quadruped, let's step it back to a plank position. Push the floor away from you. Lift the navel to spine. Keep expanding the upper back towards the ceiling. And then exhale back to our downward facing dog. Bend the knees, step or hop to the top. Inhale to a flat back. Exhale to a fold. Bend the knees a lot so you can slowly roll up vertebrae by vertebrae. Inhale, palms rise. Exhale, bend the knees, thumbs to third eye. Let's take it down to a hover. Inhale to a flat. Exhale, coming into our plank position this time and pushing through the toes. So you'll feel this little pulse front to back. Waking up the toes, waking up the ankles, waking up the rest of the leg. And then we'll press back to our downward facing dog and start walking the knees a little bit, expanding across the outer leg. Stepping or hopping to the top. Inhale to a flat back. Exhale to a fold. And bend the knees slowly. Bring it up and overhead. Palms lift. This time take a little side bend one way. Side bend the opposite. And then heart forward. Elbows back for a stretch. Let's inhale, rise. Exhale, sink it down to chair. Inhale to rise. Exhale, fold. One more time through. Inhale, flat. Exhale, right back to plank. Push forward through the toes. Navel to spine lift. We're going to hold for a moment. Check in with the fingertips. Check in with the toes. Keep your navel lifting. The whole body is active and strong here. Bring the head up level with the shoulders. No letting the head hang. Exhale as you push back to downward facing dog. Right away, bend the knees. Step or hop up. Inhale to flat. Exhale to fold. And then slowly roll up vertebrae by vertebrae. Palms rise. A little bit deeper of a side bend. You can let the hips release opposite direction. Inhale. Exhale, release. Inhale through center. Exhale, push the heart forward. Inhale, palms rise. Exhale, chair pose. We're going to stay here in chair pose and rock heel to toe. As you're lifting up onto the toes, start engaging through the pelvic floor. Feel that lift coming from the toe all the way up through navel to spine. And then we'll hold the heels off the mat, actively pushing the palms together, firing up the legs. You can add a little pedal through the heels, bringing the hands down to the hips. We're just going to do a couple squats here, continuing to warm up the legs and the hips. And if you want to go a little farther with your range of motion, I've already done a little warm up this morning, so I'm going to take full range of motion top to bottom. If you're just starting to move today, don't go all the way into your full range of motion quite yet. Let's go for one more. Inhale, palms rise. Exhale, soft fold. Allow the legs to move around. Maybe open up, make some bigger circles with the legs. We'll go a few opposite directions. And then landing on our hips distance, we're going to keep the heels down and pivot at the toes. So as my toes open, I can sink the hips down into my Malasana stance. Press the palms together, lift the heart. I want you to actively push the elbows wide as you're actively pulling the knees together, and feel the length of the spine. Feel the back muscles warming up. Keep breathing. Exhale, fingertips are going down. Push into the feet. Let's pivot the toes forward and press the thigh and belly together. Inhale from a flat back. You're going to exhale, pivot the toes open again. Find Malasana, hands to heart. Squeeze the knees together. Push the elbows wide. Hands down. Inhale, flat. Pivot toes forward. Exhale, squeeze thigh and belly together. Let's go one more. Pivot toes open. Inhale as you sink. Press, 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 press. Create your own resistance. And then take it. Inhale and exhale. This time, if you'd like to hold on or bind the leg, go ahead. You can reach opposite elbow sometimes. Anytime. Anytime you'd like. And then gently roll it up through center. Palms are just going to rotate front to back. Keep rotating. You're going to start moving through the elbow and then the shoulder here. I'm just going to quickly sweep off my mat where that puppy dog came and shed all of her hair. And now I'm ready to go. So continue opening up through the shoulders. We're going to add a bigger movement with this. So as I'm rolling front to back, I'm then going to add the chest and the spine. So I'm going to create this big lift and this big round. It's like a round release, like a cat-cow. Now, if you're able to close your eyes here, close your eyes and pull your navel to your spine. Find those deep belly muscles. Connect to the pelvic floor. Last time, keeping the heart open this time. Option to bind back. You can take your thumbs to the sacrum here, give it a little massage. And then when you're ready, you can pull the hands toward the heels, lift the heart. You can even lift and lower the chin. Keep the shoulders back and away. And then we'll release. Inhale, palms rise. Exhale to a fold. Inhale, flat. Exhale through your first chaturanga. I like to lower my knees for chaturanga. Make sure navel's to your spine. Inhale through cobra and hold cobra pose. Lift and lengthen. Fire up the back muscles here. I want elbow creases forward. Chest nice and broad. And then we're going to come all the way down to our belly. And I'm just coming all the way down to reset my hands. I'm going to go a little bit wider. You can stay where you were before if you'd like. Keep the whole palm pushing down as you lift through the back muscles. It's kind of like a back crunch, but I want to keep really supported through my hands. Don't let the shoulders round forward. Find your triceps and squeeze. For 2 and 1. Take the hands underneath the chin. Toes together, knees are wide. I'm going to lift, squeezing into the butt muscles, and then just extend the legs. So we're holding the lift, toes together, knees wide, squeeze. Make sure both feet are equally working together. Sometimes I can tell my right leg likes to work more, so I have to remind that left leg to kick into gear as well. Let's do a few more. One more active hold at the top. You can add some pulsing if you'd like. 3, 2, and now just that leg release. I'm not going to worry about holding. I'm just going to lift and kick away from the body a few times. Last one. We're going to keep the knees high and windshield wipe right to left. There seem to be a lot of bugs out this morning, which is unfortunate and weird. I usually don't have so many bugs around here. Okay, let's take it all the way back to our child's pose. Toes together, knees wide. And from this child's pose, I'm going to keep my toes tucked under and stay a little bit more elevated than a stretchy child's pose. From here, I'm going to start my round release through the spine and work on the low spine. Work the connection of that lumbar spine into the hips. This may be limited here. You have to play around with this movement for a while, especially if you have a very stiff or stuck low back. then you might need to play around with this movement a little bit. And then we're going to continue as an option, rolling all the way through. I like to bring my knees together. You don't have to go all the way through to cobra if you're not ready. You can just push forward to a child's pose. So if you are pushing forward to your cobra, hop the knees in and then hop the knees back out. It's a little bit more coordination. But I'm really focusing on lifting and lengthening through the spine. Let's go through one more. And landing now in a deeper version of child's pose. You can untuck the toes. You can bring the hands down underneath the forehead. You can shake it out a little bit if you like. Right arm is going to crawl forward, and I'm going to let the hips lift a little bit. And now just lean to the right side. You feel a nice stretch on the outer arm, outer armpit area, all the way through to the side body. If you need a little deeper of a stretch, you can take the hand across the mat as well. And then pressing the left palm down. So I have my right hand I'm going to work with first. Right hand is going behind the body. Push that bottom palm down as you inhale and roll open. Now I feel my scalp working down toward the spine. I feel that rhomboid muscle engaging. I'm going to exhale and bring it all the way into a round. Inhale, press the head into the palm open. Exhale, round. Let's go 3 more with our breathing. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Last one. Exhale. Now let the arm release. Move it around anywhere that feels good. And then we'll take the right hand down and move on to the left side. So this bottom palm is pushing. Left hand is going to open as we inhale, squeeze. Feel the back muscles engaging. Exhale, bring it through. Inhale to lift. Exhale, release. 3 more with your breath. Try to open a little farther on the last one. And exhale, release any movement through the left side. Palms are going down. Take it to your downward facing dog. Bouncing on the balls of the feet. Let's shake out the legs. Let's get the lymph system flushing. We get the blood flowing in the legs. This is another chance to open up the toes, the ankles, start working with the calves. It's really good for the muscles in our shins. A little bit more active. Push down through the toes. Make sure the toes are working. And then we'll step or hop to the top. Inhale to a flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, roll it up. Feel free to reverse swan dive as well. I just always prefer the roll. Hands to heart center. Palms down. Inhale, rise. Exhale, fold. Moving a little quicker. Inhale, flat. Exhale through your chaturanga as an option. Inhale through cobra. And meet me in downward facing. Right toes rise. This time bend the knee, open the hip. And then bring the right leg through to a modified pigeon. So my heel is going to stay underneath my butt. I'm going to use my back toes and just feel a little compression in the spine. Healthy compression. We don't want too much. You're still lifting and lengthening. Squeeze into the glutes. Lift the heart. Exhale, tuck the chin. Now you're lifting up into a plank, and the right knee is going to tick-tock from elbow to elbow. Stay high in your plank. Stay active in your core. 3, 2, right foot goes outside, right palm. Inhale, take a few sweeping circles through the right arm. Continue to expand and open through the chest. Good morning, Jake. And then the right hand's going to go down, and you'll pivot to a side plank. So you have an option to lower this bottom knee if you like, which would be my left knee. Left knee can lower, or you're just going to spin to the outside of the foot and hold in a side plank position. Squeeze into the abdominal muscles. Keep the shoulders away from the ears. Keep breathing. And then bring the hand down. Exhale as you full chaturanga. Cobra. And downward facing dog. Inhale, left toes rise. Open up the hip. And then bring knee forward for that modified pigeon. Heel is just underneath the glute. And your back leg is staying nice and long. I like to keep my toes tucked under. Feel a nice stretch on the hip flexors. Little compression in the spine. Big lift through the heart. Keep breathing and expanding. Think about lifting straight from the crown of the head. Let's take one more breath here. And then we gently tuck the chin, lift through the core, use the back leg. My left knee is just going to tick-tock right to left. Stay active, navel to spine. 3, 2, and 1. Left foot goes outside left palm. Find some big sweeping circles. You can sink into the hips as much as you want here. You're going to get a deeper stretch that way. Last one, and this time the left palm goes down. We're going to float the left toes. Remember, you can always lower this bottom knee if you'd like, or you can just spin the bottom foot and open up through your side plank. Lift through the core, lift through the side body, chest is open. You're working the front abdominals just like you're stabilizing with the back ones too. Keep holding. And then exhale, hands down, lower through your chaturanga. Inhale, cobra, back to our downward facing dog. Bend the knees, step or hop up, inhale, flat. Exhale, sink it down to a deep chair. You can have palms forward or maybe up and overhead. Keep breathing. Inhale, rise. Exhale, fold. Inhale, flat. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra. Downward facing dog. Inhale, right toes up. Bring the right knee forward. Land in that modified pigeon. Inhale, lift the heart, maybe the back toes. Exhale, tuck the toes and lift navel to spine. You're crunching. Take 3 big circles with the right knee. And then land right foot outside right palm. Inhale, open the heart. Exhale, side plank. Inhale to expand. Exhale, chaturanga. Cobra. Downward facing. Inhale, left toes rise. Exhale, knee in. Inhale, lift the heart, maybe the back toes. Exhale, tuck the toes, lift your plank, squeeze 3 big circles. And then landing, left palm outside, left foot outside, left palm. Inhale to expand. Exhale, shifting to the side plank. Feel free to lower the knee. Inhale to open. And exhale through your chaturanga. Cobra. Downward facing dog. Give it a moment. Shake it out. Release it. We're going to go through that sequence one more time. Bend the knees. Step or hop up. Inhale, flat. Exhale, fold. Inhale to chair pose. Sink it down as far as you can go. Palms can be forward or up. Keep breathing. Keep breathing. Keep breathing. Hug the hips in. Inhale, rise. Exhale, fold. Inhale, flat. Exhale through your chaturanga. Inhale through cobra. Downward facing dog. Right toes up. Right knee nose. Inhale, left toes rise. Exhale to your plank. Hold. Inhale, 3 circles. And then land. Right foot outside. Inhale, open. Exhale, straight to your side plank. Inhale, rise. This time we're going to exhale, right foot to the top of the mat and come to a standing split position. And you can hold a little stretch here. Don't open and stack the hips, but keep the hips squared towards the floor and lift through the back heel. Keep the hamstring on the standing leg opening. Maybe one hand takes a bind, maybe both if you're ready. And then we'll bring the left toes down first. High lunge stance. Pull the right toes back, downward facing dog, and take 3 big rolls forward through the spine. I'm keeping the arms nice and long for support. From downward facing, inhale, left toes. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, back toes rise. Exhale, lift and hold. Inhale, 3 circle. And then plant the left foot outside left palm. Inhale, open. Exhale, take it through your side plank. Inhale. And then now the left foot will come forward. The right toes rise for the stance split on the other side. Again, squared hips, back heel rises. You want to take one hand or both for a bind. It's going to change the movement a little bit from a stretch to more of a balance. Keep reaching the right heel. Maybe you could bring the forehead down a little farther. Ooh, my hamstring is feeling tight this morning. And let's slowly lower the back leg, lift the left toes, take it to your downward facing, 3 more big rolls. You have the option to also roll all the way into your cobra stance. I'm just going to stick with the plank here. And then bend, step, or hop to the top. Inhale flat, exhale fold. Sink the hips, open the toes. A malasana hold. So my heels are in, my toes are out. My knee and hip are about one line. Interlace the fingers and press the palms forward. Now with that extension, I'm also going to pull the heart up by driving the lats down. Keep holding, keep holding. We're going to do a little squat series. So keeping the toes wide, bring the palms up as you inhale. Full expansion, exhale, sink it down. Inhale, lift. Don't let the knees wobble. Exhale. Keep pushing the feet down. Inhale. Squeeze the glutes together. Breathe as you lift. Exhale. Let's hit one more. Toes together, hands to heart. Hold your squat. Stay here. Spine nice and long. Navel into your belly. Keep breathing. Palms extend forward one more time. Maybe sink a little bit lower. And then as we inhale, we'll bring it up. Exhale, sink it down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale. Almost there. 2 more breaths. This time staying at the top, and you're just taking some movement through the upper body. So I'm hinging right at the rib cage, opening up the rib space, stretching the intercostal muscles between the ribs. Last one. And releasing the hands. Take a circle through the wrist as you go all the way down. And then just take a moment to shake the feet out. We'll go through a vinyasa. If you want to, just meet me back in our downward facing dog. If you want to follow through your vinyasa, take it at your own pace. Meet me in down dog when you're ready. Once you're in down dog, take a moment to bounce, shake it out, work with the limb system, get the blood flowing. Releasing the head and a yes and a no. We're going to move on through one more lunge sequence here. Inhale, right toes rise. Exhale, knee drives to nose. Now the right foot's placed inside the right palm. Your back leg is active. I'm going to add a little bend to my back leg here because that allows my pelvis to tilt. So if my back leg is really strong and long, it's a little harder for me to tilt into my pelvis. So if you want, bend the back knee a little. Take that nice round so you sink into the glute muscle, and then you can lift and lengthen up and out of the hips. So from here, just take a moment to make sure the feet are hips distance, the hips are squared forward, the toes are spreading wide, especially the big toes, and we'll sink a little bit deeper into our lunge. I want you to mess around with your lunge. Just kind of feel some different movements. You can go lower, forward, a little bit out, a little bit in, making sure the toes stay down, especially the big toe. But I want to kind of test my muscles, challenge my range of motion here in the front knee and that back ankle. Also feel a lot of activation in the back glute muscle. You kind of push forward and go lower. I have a injured big toe, so it's a little hard to go low on this side. And then from there, we're going to keep the bend. Inhale, palms rise. Exhale, pull right hand back as the left palm goes forward, and I'm going to squeeze. My hands are clenched. I'm dropping my shoulders, but keeping my core really strong and active. And then open up fingertips wide, full twist. And then come to a standing position. It's Sapana Mudra. So your hands are together. First 2 fingers are extended. You're going to inhale to stand. The left toes are light. Maybe your left knee can come all the way up. And then you're going to add some movement in the upper body, the torso. So same thing we were doing before. You're hinging right at the rib cage. This is going to challenge your stabilizers, taking your balance a little farther. And now keeping the right knee soft, so we may need a little bend here. Float the left toes back to a pyramid stance, so not as far back as a lunge, but I'm still on train tracks. Inhale, palms reach, lengthen the spine. Keep holding, hug the hips in, find the glute muscles here, find the navel to spine. Shoulders are out of the ears. Keep breathing. And then we're going to inhale forward one more time, left knee to chest, and exhale, sink it down to our figure 4. Ooh, a nice stretch on the left hip. Sink lower if you can. Keep holding. On the next breath, we're going to open to our goddess pose. So you'll see my back view. I'm going to turn to my left. Inhale to goddess. From goddess pose, we're just going to take some flowing movements with the upper body. If your legs are getting tired, you can always place the elbows down on the knees. I'm going to continue this rounding movement we've been working with today. And then I'm going to add a few pulses, just lifting and lengthening through the inner thighs. When I'm ready to square forward, I'm going to inhale straight up to stand. Exhale to a fold. Inhale flat. Exhale through chaturanga. Once you're in downward facing dog, take a moment, maybe walk the hips. And then when you're ready, we'll move on. Inhale, left toes rise. Exhale, knee to nose. Left foot inside left palm. Same thing here. Soften the back knee so you can allow that pelvis to tilt as you come up. And then check in with your lunge. You want hips distance with the feet. You want nice soft knees to start. And then challenge your range of motion here. Play with forward, back, right to left. You can push from the toes. I'm wondering if you can hear all the dogs and squirrels, trains, all the things that I'm listening to right now. Let's take it a little bit deeper. I'm going to push forward on this one. And then bringing the hands up and overhead. Keep the back knee soft, engage the glutes, pull the core in tight. Bringing the hands down, fists are clenching. I'm squeezing, squeezing, squeezing. My muscles are fired up and active. Keep holding. And then unroll, lengthen the fingertips. As we inhale, we're going to bring it to Sapana Mudra. The right toes are nice and light. If you can work on floating, you can bring the knee in. Stay strong through the core. This is same movement, but a little bit more active. So now we're working those deep belly muscles. Then instead of just stretching the intercostals, we're making them move and function at these more stretchy positions. One more breath here. And then the right toes go back into your pyramid stance, so not as far as your lunge. And the hands are going to reach back on the inhale. Lock into the hips, lock into the core. Check in with your big toes. Big toes should be pushing down. The whole foot is very important here in pyramid. If there's pressure on your knee, you can always bend the front knee a little bit. Keep hugging the hips, especially that front side glute muscle. We're going to breathe. On the next inhale, bring it up to stand, right knee rise, and then land in your figure four. Press the palms. Now you're opening up this other side glute muscle. Maybe go a little lower. A little lower. And then we'll inhale to rise. Exhale, whoops, to goddess pose. Got a little ahead of myself there. Any movement you took on the other side, I like doing these hinges here as well for the hips and the low back. So making sure that the knees are staying wide. Squeeze your glute muscles together. All I'm doing is pushing my hips back and then pushing my hips forward. I'm not really changing the, I'm not really squatting. It's just my upper body that's hinging because my hips are moving front to back. Keep the glutes active. Keep the inner thighs rolling up towards whatever's above you. I don't really have a ceiling above me today. Hi, Elsa. Any movement that feels good. I'm going to go a little bit lower and some rolling through the spine. One more. And then coming up through center. Now inhale to stand. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale to rise. Exhale through chaturanga. Cobra. And downward facing dog. Elsa, get out of the camera. Go, Elsie. Go. Elsa likes to catch the bugs. Elsa, go. Elsa, go. Good girl, kind of. Okay, let's bend the knees. Step or hop to the top. Inhale flat. Exhale, fold. And then roll it up. Shake the hands out, shake the body out. We're going to go through that sequence 2 times. One breath, one movement. And then we'll take it down to a nice hip stretch today. Inhale, palms rise. Exhale, fold. Inhale, flat. Chaturanga. Cobra. And downward facing dog. Inhale, right toes up. Exhale, knee to nose, plant. Inhale, rise into your high lunge. Exhale, squeeze, pull the right arm back. Open up the arms. Inhale, let's see, bring the left knee high. See if you can hold it there. Exhale, sink the hands to your heart and extend it back to a pyramid pose. Inhale, reach. Exhale, hands to heart, left knee high again. Open it up into your goddess. Exhale, sink it low. And then transition straight forward, knee up. Exhale, take it to figure four. I think I changed our sequence there, but that's okay. Plant the feet down. Inhale, palms rise. Exhale, fold. I like that, moving front to back more. Inhale. Exhale through. Lots of movement. Cobra. Downward facing. Inhale, left toes rise. Exhale, knee to nose. Plant the foot. Inhale, high lunge. Exhale, bring the hands down and squeeze. Pull that left arm back. Open up the palms. Inhale, palms rise. Right knee to the top. Exhale, sink it back to your pyramid pose. Almost said humble warrior. Inhale. Exhale, hands to heart. Right knee in. And then open it up to our goddess. Sink it down. Right knee back, forward. Exhale, find your hold. Feet plant. I'm going to add a few squats here just because, why not? I always like to work my glutes. If I'm here, I might as well get the work in. 2, 1, inhale, palms rise. Exhale, fold. Inhale, flat. Exhale through chaturanga. Cobra. And downward facing. Take a breath here. That was a lot of movement front to back. I honestly just make these up as I go, so I'm not sure what just happened, but we're going to go through it one more time. Bend the knees, step or hop up. Inhale, flat. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Bring the palms down to heart center, and then down, facing forward. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, flat. Exhale, your version, chaturanga. Cobra. Downward facing. I'm feeling the breath now. Right toes rise. Exhale, knee to nose. Plant the foot. Inhale, high lunge. Exhale, squeeze. Pull that right arm back. Open it up. Inhale, rise. Left knee to chest. Hiya. Exhale, pyramid stance. Reach. Inhale. Exhale, bring it through. I'm going to inhale, lift. Exhale into your goddess. Sink it down. And then transferring one more time forward. Inhale, left knee up. And exhale, figure four. Sink the foot here. Hold. Inhale, rise. Exhale, fold. Inhale. Chaturanga. Cobra. Downward facing. Finishing our last side, left toes. Exhale, knee, nose. Plant. Inhale, rise, high lunge. Exhale, pull it through. Oh, I went wrong side. Open up the arms. Inhale, right knee up. Exhale, pyramid stance. Inhale, reach. Exhale, sink it through. Right knee comes up. Take it back to your goddess. You want to sink on the exhale. Inhale, forward. Exhale, figure four. Hold. Plant the feet down. Stay there. This time we're going to do our Malasana walk. So my toes shift forward and then out. Focus the work back in your glute muscles. Don't let the weight shift forward in the toes. Don't let the weight shift forward to the knees. Last one, toes forward. Inhale, rise. Hi, exhale, fold. Inhale, flat. Exhale, hold your plank position this time. Check in, wrist, elbow, shoulder, one line. Gaze is over the fingertips. Head is in line with the shoulders. Lift into your core. Push the upper back towards the ceiling. 3, 2, we're going to go one balance here. You can either float just the left toes or extend just the right palm or work on extending both. And we're holding, we're digging deep, we're breathing, find your core. 2, now your back leg is going to extend forward, so you're going to fall in triangle and you can open up the heart. Take a nice deep stretch here. One more breath. And then bringing the left hip down, the right leg is going to come forward. So I want to be off my sits bones here. I want to be leaning on the left hip, and my right toe is down, my right knee is up. Couple options here. You could stay tall if you're not ready to hinge forward. You can come all the way down. You can reach for a bind. I like bringing my forehead to the mat for a breath. Try to keep this knee from falling. This is where you're getting the stretch here. Taking one more breath. And then as you come up, we'll bring the right foot back for a half hero. So half hero's pose. See how my knees are touching. I want to keep the internal rotation of this right thigh, and my heel is just outside my sits bone, so it's not going very far. It's staying close to the body, keeping the internal rotation. If this feels good, you may feel a nice stretch across the foot, the ankle, the shin. Stay there. If you want to start leaning back, you can. I like to tuck my pelvis, bring my hip and rib together. I feel like that takes it deeper to the hip flexors. Hi, pups. You can also go all the way onto the back. You can lean back and bring the arms up and overhead. I'm not going to just because I'm I'm on concrete, so I don't want to lean all the way back. But this is the position, arms up over your head, fully reclined. Jakey. This is also a really good position to just check in, pay attention to your feet for a moment. I like to just take my knuckles and do a few rolls. You could just lean on them if you don't want to work so hard for the pressure. Jakey boy. Baba. And then to release this posture, I guess the other one you could be doing is here. That's a pretty intense stretch on the knee. So make sure if you're going to try that one, you go into it very slowly. And then to release, you lean to the opposite direction. Use the hand, guide the leg open, any kind of movement that feels good there. And then the right foot's going to land on top of the left. Feet are flexed. Walk your sits bones back, and then take a nice fold here. Hi, buddy. Good morning. Don't get in my face. Hi. You smell like a puppy dog. Oh, right in the view. You gotta lay down. Lay down. Down. Good boy. Stay there. Good boy. Hi, Bubba. I know you want to roll, don't you? No rolling. Bringing it back up. Let's cross the ankles from here. I'm just going to square myself back onto my mat. Meet me in downward facing. Shake it out. Release the hips. And then when you're ready, let's finish our last balance. So back into our plank position. Good plank position. You can either float just the right leg, just the left fingertips, or you can go for the full balance. Lock into your core. You really have to use the planted palm and the foot that's touching the mat. Squeeze into your abdominals. Hi. Now the right foot is going to step through to the top of the mat. You pivot on the back heel. Open up into your fallen triangle. Take one more big breath. And then we'll lower onto the right hip this time. And the left foot steps up. So remember, you're off the sits bones. You're on the hip. Toe is planted. Knee is up. My toe is also pointing forward. Whatever version you took on the other side, go ahead and take on this side. Oh, Bubba. What do you see over there? One more inhale. Maybe sink a little farther to the floor. And then as we rise, we're going to finish off with our half hero's pose on the left. So my left foot goes back, and this is my injured toe, so maybe a little bit more funky on this side. I'm still keeping that internal rotation of the femur. The knees are staying together. And then I'm sinking my hip, whatever version you took on the other side. Ooh, that does not feel lovely on my toe. And then you can pay attention to the foot here as well. The chipmunks sound so funny this morning. Squirrels, I guess, not chipmunks. They get very loud. And then when you're ready, you can bring it up through center, maybe work on a forward fold. I feel that in my leg, but so much in my low back. That's such a great low back stretch. I'm going to take one more roll here, especially after all those squats we just did this morning. And then as you release, you lean opposite direction. You use your hand to guide the leg. Move it around wherever feels good. Hi. And then landing with the left foot on top of the right, feet are flexed, walk the sits bones back, and a nice fold. Keep the toes up and active. I was just realizing I didn't do this stretch for our chest on the left side, so we'll finish off with that today. One more inhale. And exhale, go deeper. Gently rolling it up. Our feet are already crossed. Let's just bring them in, roll them over. And from our child's pose position, the left hand's going to reach out. Remember, our hips are up a little higher than normally in child's pose. We're going to push down into the armpit area. Jake, you're right in my move. If you can see me, down into the armpit area. Maybe your hand crosses the mat. You can push more to the lat here. The serratus anterior outside the armpit. Oh, it feels so great. And then bringing it forward. Let's go all the way onto our belly. Keep Jake out of the way. Fingertips wide. Inhale as you lift. You're using this to expand and open across the chest, across the front ribs. So your hands are doing more of the work here. Your arms are doing the work, not your back so much. You can still use your back muscles. Using your back muscles will help open the front body as well. And then taking it all the way down to the ground. I'm just going to roll right to left. So my right arm reached out. I'm going to roll, tap the toes, and then go opposite side. Left hand reaches out. Roll, sorry about the mic, tap the toes. I'm going to go 2 more on each side. You might be getting a little static. So I'm trying not to roll on the mic, but it is tricky, Sir Jake. Last one on the right. And last one on the left. Take it on to your back any way you'd like to get there. Trying to stay on my mat and off the concrete as much as possible. Hi, buddy. Legs up into the air. Give them a little shake. Anything you want to shake out, go ahead and do it. Brushing down the body. Anything you want to get rid of. It's the beginning of my day here, so I'm going to get rid of everything and start fresh. Let it go. Any last movements here? You can do a spinal twist, supported bridge. I always love finishing my class in a reclined Baddha Konasana, butterfly. Give the belly a little massage. And then keeping the belly muscles soft. Wrists are facing each other. Hands are at the hip line. You lock the arms out on the exhale. And usually you get some little adjustments in the spine. Sometimes it depends on what time of the day it is. Mornings, I don't get so many adjustments. If I do that at night, I get lots of adjustments. You can take your knuckles up along the spine for a little self-massage. And then we'll come to stillness just for a moment here in Shavasana. Whatever position is comfortable for you on the back. You can have knees up, legs up, against the wall. Let the eyes flutter closed. And let's go back to our breathing. We created a lot of space and expansion in the body this morning. Breathing with movement allows us to go deeper with our muscles, with our fascia, with our consciousness, with our connection of mind and body, also heart and soul. Bringing in something you're grateful for today. And bringing in something you're grateful for in your future. Feel free to stay here as long as you'd like. If you'd like to join me now, I'm going to roll it to the right side. Take a breath here. And then press it up through center to seated. If you're with me here at the final part of the class, let's inhale, palms up. Exhale, hands come down to heart together. Thanking your body, thanking your practice, thanking all the nature that surrounded us today. Thanking the pups, you did well. Appreciate you all for joining me. And I will see you next time on the House of Chi.